Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Coming up this morning on Sunrise, a local college student now behind bars after a drunk driving incident, how it also led to a run-in with ICE officials.
Plus, it's a project that could drastically boost our local economy. Details on the proposed Hard Rock Hotel and Casino plan.
And they are Bakersfield police officers' best officers. Watch how one of their canines are in action just a day before he shows off his skills at the annual canine trials.
And I'm Tabitha Mills in for Maddie Jansen. We have Vanessa Dillon in for Alex Fisher and Kevin Shred, the original gangster holding it down right now.
Yep.
And the weekend is on our shoulders, and today cooler, but then it looks like a heat wave could be headed our way by next week. But when we compare what we've been seeing to last year, we're looking really good. I want to show you that to start off right this morning, our kind of temperature trend here. And on our little graph, this is, again, last year, July of 2018. On this date, we hit 108 last year. On Saturday, the 20th, at 105, then we were down right near 100. But look at the information below. We were at 100 degrees or warmer July 11th. Okay, listen to this. July 11th through August 4th. Last year. So we have been relatively cooler than what we were seeing last year for July and getting close to August here. 70 degrees on the temperature right now. We have a north-northwest wind at 5 miles per hour. So we take a look at your day. We are going to be into the 90s again. Yesterday's high was 100 degrees. Today we'll look at the mid-90s around the area. Fort Tehachapi, 57 degrees right now with a west wind at 6. And as we take a look at your day on the temperature scale, you can see we will rise into the lower 70s by 9 a.m. and then looking at some lower 80s as we head into this afternoon. I'll have much more on your forecast in just a little bit, but first, let's get a check of the morning commute with Tabitha.
All right, taking a look outside this morning, Highway 99, things are moving nice and smooth through there. Nothing too much going on around town. Just be safe if you're out and about early this morning or if you're getting ready to head out on your morning commute. Buckle up and we'll have another look at traffic in just a few minutes.
Well, new this morning, drunk driving apparently caused an undocumented Bakersfield college student being held at Mesa Verde his freedom. You may remember the name Jose Bello. He's the BC student who was arrested a year ago on immigration charges. Police arrested him in February for driving under the influence while he was out of bail. Now on bail. Then in May, ICE agents arrested him again 36 hours after he read a poem at a Board of Supervisors meeting. Lawyers with the ACLU claim Bello was arrested as retaliation for publicly protesting the treatment of immigrants by ICE and requested he be released from custody. But the court ruled in favor of ICE partially because of the prior drunk driving charge. The ACLU plans to appeal the decision as well. Also new this morning, a strong earthquake has rocked the Greek city of Athens. A magnitude 5.3 quake hit just about 20 minutes ago. No word on damage or injuries.
A woman accused of killing a popular Bakersfield chef is set to appear before a judge today. Michaela Bowers is accused of killing Ray Ingram in 2017. Ingram owned the restaurant Jay's Place. Back in April, Bowers' first trial ended with a hung jury. Prosecutors argued Bowers shot Ingram out of jealousy, but the defense claimed she accidentally fired it while trying to defend herself when Ingram threatened to kill her during an argument. Bowers' appearance today is just a pre-trial hearing. The new trial is set to begin a week from Monday.
A massive wildfire in Arizona has prompted evacuations after scorching thousands of acres. The so-called cellar fire is burning about 16 miles south of Prescott. It started Sunday and firefighters say it grew significantly over this week. So far, the fire is 0% contained and flames have burned more than 7,000 acres as of last night. As the warm, dry weather continues over the weekend, forest officials say there could be more fire activity and heavier smoke in the surrounding areas. 7 hotshot crews, 7 air tankers, and 7 helicopters are working on containing that fire.
Here in California, the state and the Trump administration have come to an agreement on the money owed to California fire departments for fighting wildfires on federal land. they've decided to move forward with the California Fire Assistance Agreement, a contract that's been in effect for decades. It requires the government to pay state fire departments back pay when they battle fires on federal land. But the agreement was in question earlier this year as the U.S. Forest Service wanted to change the billing process, claiming California was overcharging for services. State officials have said the feds owed California more than $9 million for the 2018 fire season. Moving through this fire season, the two parties agreed to keep billing the same, but a U.S. Forest Service administrator will be embedded with Cal OES to help with initial review of some invoices.
It's a project that has the potential to bring thousands of jobs and millions of dollars to Kern County. Last month, we broke the news that Hard Rock International plans to build a massive hotel and casino just south of Mettler. Now the tribe behind that project is proposing a deal that could invest in public safety and pour hundreds of millions of dollars into the Kern County economy. Over the next 20 years, the Tahan tribe would pay more than $217 million to the county. $140 million of that would go into the general fund and $77 allocated for the fire fund.
This is an exciting opportunity for our county and our residents. The job creation, the opportunities for our residents, both to get those jobs and also the experiences that they can have at a resort style facility like this.
Also part of the proposal, the tribe would invest in fire and sheriff staffing to open a new joint fire sheriff Tahan substation. That would create 9 new positions within the fire department and 13 new positions in the sheriff's office. The Board of Supervisors is expected to vote on this proposal Tuesday.
If you're wondering where Maddie and Alex are today, they're getting ready to MC the Class of 2020 showcase for the Distinguished Young Women of California at CSUB later today. This is video from last year's event. The organization is part of a national scholarship program that recognizes leadership and talent in young women. Scholarships will be awarded to several young women this evening. Last year, $35,000 was awarded at the state level and $1 billion was given out nationally.
Well, we're just one day away from the annual canine trials hosted by the Bakersfield Police Department. What better way to get a good understanding of what these dogs are trained to do than to spend a day on the job with them? I got the chance to see one of BPD's canines in action this week when I tagged along for a shift. As you're about to see, the bond between a police dog and its handler goes beyond the badge.
It's just wonderful to drive around with one of my best friends in the backseat every single day.
For Officer Brad Vaughn, Bakersfield Police Canine RJ is more than just a partner.
Oh, good boys.
I would say it's a lot like parenthood. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Parenthood, because the time and commitment that goes into training canines like RJ is immeasurable.
Good boy. We get so close with these dogs. They're not pets, they're working dogs, but we spend almost every waking hour with them.
The definition of man's best friend, both on and off the clock.
You just want out, huh? You just want to play.
That bond only made stronger after the duo spends countless hours every week training to take the job to the streets.
It's a daily challenge that absolutely never ends. While these dogs get a foundation of the training that they go through when we go through the school with them, we're required to do about an hour's worth of training every single day.
RJ showed off those skills this week by demonstrating how quickly he can detect narcotics.
As you can tell, it's hidden under the bed right there. He knows where it's at. He's just trying to pinpoint it now. Oh, and you got it out, didn't you? Sook. Yes. He'll go into his alert, which for him is he will freeze, and generally speaking, he likes to look back at me and tell me, hey, Dad, it's right here.
But his commitment to helping Dad doesn't stop with drug detection.
The other half of his job is detection work on explosives. So RJ is an explosives detection dog, and he's trained in the location and detection of explosive material.
And RJ quickly becomes a triple threat and asset to the police department for his swift ability to protect his partner.
Final warning, this is Bakersfield Police Department. I have a police canine.
RJ is always the first in the line of duty, sniffing out potential suspects before Officer Vaughn has to come in contact with them.
In a situation like this, we would use the canine to search the residence. What that does is it reduces the risk to the officers involved.
From spotting bad guys to demonstrating his agility in a good old game of fetch.
Good boy!
Now, boy!
RJ is just one of several power pups that will showcase those skills at Saturday's Canine Trials.
Oh, good boy. Arr.
And everyone, of course, is invited to head to Rabobank Arena tomorrow to watch the Canine Trials. The event will go from 8 to 5 p.m. Are you going to head out there?
I might. Those dogs are athletes. They are amazing.
They are.
They're
very
phenomenal to
impressive.
watch. Great job.
Yeah.
Well, still ahead this morning on Sunrise, he's officially facing new charges. The shocking felony Matthew Queen is accused of, plus who was in court during his arraignment.
Plus, it's not your typical police chase. The new bizarre details in the case of a stolen ice cream truck.
Let's go ahead and get a look at your traffic commute this morning. It looks like things are still relatively quiet out there. That's Highway 99 Airport Drive. Things are moving smoothly again. And on this finally Friday, it looks like, nothing too much going on in our community. So buckle up, be safe as you head out on your morning commute.
Now, temperatures are skyrocketing across much of the country, but that doesn't mean life can come to a halt.
Look at the scary situation that heat is putting delivery drivers in as they try to put packages on your doorsteps. Much of the U.S. and are set to spike this weekend, creating dangerous and potentially deadly conditions. Some 200 million Americans across 40 states are trapped underneath a blanket of heat and humidity. Officials are rolling out cooling shelters, distributing fans, and urging people to check in on their neighbors during the severe heat.
We will have 36 park locations across the city that are available to the public as cooling centers.
Not only is the heat potentially deadly, but it also exacerbates smog that makes it difficult for sensitive groups to breathe. Among the most vulnerable in these hot temperatures, the young and the elderly.
And coming up on Today, a look into the quiet struggles some men and women are facing in this dangerous summer heat. Millions of packages are delivered each day to doorsteps across America, but some of those brown UPS trucks don't have air conditioning, reportedly leading to temperatures of more than 150 degrees. And that puts workers in frightening situations. One UPS driver said the heat got so bad he was forced to call for help.
I did call in one time and they actually sent a supervisor out who picked me up and brought me back to the building. They had someone else finish my route for the day.
You must have been feeling pretty lousy to make that call.
I absolutely was, but the bottom line is that my vision was blurred. I was seeing stars. I was throwing up, and I couldn't. I just honestly could not drive that vehicle safely anymore.
And he's not alone. An NBC News investigation found 107 reports in 23 states of UPS employees being hospitalized for serious heat-related illnesses since 2015. UPS points out that this is a small percentage of its workforce, and it says air conditioning would be, quote, ineffective in its trucks, but provides employees extensive health and safety training. We'll have all the details coming up on Today. You can watch Today right here on TV 17 after 17 News at sunrise.
Millions of Americans have storage lockers stuffed with junk.
If you're one of those people, you may be paying more than your stuff is worth. We'll explain just ahead in your 17 Business Watch.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back into 17 Business Watch. Boeing is taking a major financial hit related to the grounding of its 737 MAX jets. The company says it will record a $4.9 billion after-tax charge in the second quarter related to the grounding. That charge comes out of to $8.47 per share. The aerospace giant is set to report second quarter earnings next week. Boeing grounded its best-selling jet, the 737 MAX, in March after one of the planes crashed in Ethiopia, killing everybody on board. It was the second deadly crash involving that type of plane in just months. It's time to go back to the future. Sorry, no, not time-traveling DeLoreans. We're talking about electric cars. We know they're already a thing, but experts now say by 2040, electric cars will be the norm. In fact, analysts at Bloomberg New Energy Finance say 20 years from now, more than half of the new cars sold will be electric. But there's a catch. If electric cars are really going to go toe-to-toe against cars that run gasoline, a few things need to happen first. Electric cars are going to need to be able to go farther on just one charge and charge faster. We're also going to need more charging stations. And finally, since the consumer is king, you know there are going to need to be more options to choose from that. That won't bust the budget. Do you have a storage locker somewhere? Well, renting one can cost thousands every year, and you may be storing stuff you don't really want. Money reporter Stacey Johnson shows you a few alternatives to public storage.
If there's one thing that defines the American landscape, it's these storage lockers. The United States now has 2.3 billion square feet of storage room. 1 in 10 Americans has one. Now that's enough space for every man, woman, and child to stand inside one of these units. If you're one of them, maybe it's time to do some simple math. Like whether what you're paying to store your stuff is more than the stuff is actually worth. Unfortunately, I can use myself as an example. I've rented this storage locker for 10 years at $150 a month. That's $18,000. Do you really think the stuff in here is worth 18 grand? Let me tell you, not even close. So the simplest way to save on storage rooms is the most obvious. Don't have one, or at least get the smallest possible. Don't just throw stuff in here. Go through it first. Not pay worthy? Either donate it, keep it at home, or throw it away. Idea number 2, get a better deal by asking for one. Compare and shop storage companies and pit them against each other. Idea number 3, while storage sheds at the store may cost a lot, they may be cheaper in the long run than renting storage space. No room? Pay a friend to store stuff for you. Bottom line, houses have doubled in size in the last 50 years, and storage rental units didn't even exist until the 1960s. If you're paying for storage, odds are you simply got too much stuff. Downsize. For more info and tips, head to MoneyTalksNews.com and just do a search for storage. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacey Johnson. Money Talks is brought to you by your local consumer credit counseling service. If you've got debt problems or just want some free budget counseling, call today.